सोच में सकारात्मकता लाएं, जीवन को बेहतर बनाएं। मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम। मनोदर्पण के काउंसलर से परामर्श पाने के लिए डायल करें टोल फ्री नंबर 844। नंबर एक बार फिर सुने, 844-844-0632।
नमस्कार, आप सभी का बेहद स्वागत है हमारे CIET NCERT के लाइव फोन इन इंटरैक्टिव स्पेशल प्रोग्राम कॉल्ड सहयोग, गाइडेंस फॉर मेंटल well-being of the children. My name is Tanvi Khurana. At this moment, you're watching us on eVidya channel number 6 to channel number 12. The topic that we are going to discuss today is home environment for school examination. So students prepare for their examination, but how good or how bad is the home environment for these children? We have a lot to discuss regarding this topic. If you have any questions, any queries, please reach out to us. You can simply call us on our number, which is 8800440559. And if you are watching us on our YouTube channel, that is NCERT Official, then in the live chat box you can write down your questions, queries and share them with us. Apart from this, if you want to email us, the email ID would be sahyog.ncert@ciet.nic.in. You can even see the email ID written on your screens as well. We have two guests with us. Let me please introduce our first guest to all of you. We have with us Mr. K. Madhu. Sir, a very warm welcome to you.
Namaste ma'am. Thank you so much.
Namaskar. Sir is a teacher counselor, and along with him we have one more expert, and she is Dr. Sujata B. Hanchinalkar. Ma'am, a very warm welcome to you as well.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am is from Regional Institute of Education, NCERT, Mysuru. And I welcome both of you once again in this conversation regarding home environment for school examination. So without further ado, let's begin with this conversation. And my first question would be to Sujata ma'am. Ma'am, would you like to tell us that how does the home environment affect a student's focus and studying for examination?
Thank you, Tanviji, for the question. And we all know that our Honorable Prime Minister has been talking a lot on the examination. Pariksha Pe Charcha is something which is very well appreciated. And we do know that examination is something that is in our country considered as more of an evil kind rather than something the child should appreciate, child should enjoy what learning has taken place. But examination brings in a lot of stress, not only for the child but also for the family. So let us just find out what exactly is the home environment, how it should be, and what should happen with the home environment. These are certain things that one should worry about, and one should think about how we should make the environment conducive for the children. What exactly happens at the home is, we do know that now we have moved towards a nuclear family, but still when we consider the home environment for the child, when you consider especially the physical setting, we should know that the child must have a very comfortable seating place for himself whenever. That also means that we should create a study space for a child, and that study space must be quiet and it should be organized, and you should let the child organize the place as per the child's choice. So this should also involve the minimum distractions that are there, as such as there may be noise, there may be a lot of clutter on the table. These are the things that add to the distractions that the child may have as such. And there must be a proper lighting, comfortable seating for the child to sit for the longer duration. Then there is something called as familiarity and comfort. That means the child should feel secure, familiar to the space that he uses or she uses on a daily basis. It should promote a positive mindset among the children. Wherever they are creating a study space, that should be something that the child should choose, and child should feel very familiar and secure. Apart from that, the home environment also should make things very, very comfortable for the child. Familiarity with the surroundings is most important, be it home, be it hostel, wherever the child is there for the examination time, the child space that is created for the child to study must be very, very comforting. And emotional climate, we all know that there is a lot of stress that is there during the period, and a parent or wherever the child is, there must be support and encouragement for the child. This plays a crucial role on the student's focus, how he is focused on what he has to complete, a supportive atmosphere. And whenever a child completes a task, there must be reinforcement. This is something that I feel that most of the children are lacking in the aspect of when it comes to motivate them. If the child has to be feeling motivated, the motivation, even though it is intrinsic, but there are a lot of factors which are extrinsic also. For example, the kind of reinforcement that the parent or whoever is looking after the child should keep on. What should happen? Whenever a complete study schedule is prepared for the child, one should ensure that if the child stick to the study schedule, the content that the child has to complete, the parent or whoever is caring for the child must be able to appreciate the child, so that the positive reinforcement is there and the child keeps continued efforts for completing the task kept for that day. Then we should also be not creating stress in the mind of the child that he is not able to focus on something. So the parent must sit with the child. What is the condition under which the child is working? Where is the distraction? Is there a distraction from the peer group? Or is there any other distraction, or is there any other stress? Because most of the time during the adolescent phase, we do know that there is a lot of peer influence that is there, and this peer influence definitely leads to the stress among the children. And there is some amount of eustress that is always there, and we also say that this eustress is something which is a positive stress, and it must be there so that the given task can be completed within the scheduled time. So the study habit that the child forms, the content that is assigned as per the timetable, the child should be able to complete without much stress being given to the child, and child should be able to do based on his individual efforts rather than the parent forcing him to complete the given task within that time frame. What can be set aside is, okay, this is the time frame that you have put, let us see how much time will you take to complete. So these small little challenges that the parent provides also should be reinforced by telling this, yes, you have done better, but you still can improve. This is the kind of positive environment that the parent can provide at home, and this adds to the effort of the child that is there. And there should not be anything that distracts the child or the concentration is affected. For example, there may be a joint family, or there may be 4 or 5 members in the family. One wants to watch television or wants to put on some music. So we should be considerate towards the child who is having examination. So others who are there in the family should be more accommodative. They cannot have what they want to immediately, because we have to consider the environment that we are trying to create for the child. Yes, Tanvi.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, you have already pinpointed a few points that what all can parents do to create a healthy, good study environment for the children who are studying at home for their examinations. I would request you to add a few more points here, please.
Yeah. Thank you. When it comes to certain other aspects that we have to see, what are the other aspects that are related to creating this study space, then also trying to find out what are the other supportive things that the parent can do. For example, we already talked about that there must be a separated, dedicated study space. If it is possible, a child who is having examination or who is facing board examination can, if at all they get a separate room, fine. If they are not able to, at least a proper space where child can sit and study, that must be created at home or wherever the child is there. So a dedicated study space allows the child to concentrate, sit in one space and work on whatever the task he has to complete. Apart from that, there are few other important aspects. For example, there are certain essential materials that we have to provide to child. For example, there are resource books that are required. There are other stationaries that are required. There are textbooks that are required. There are some reference materials that are there. These things should be very neatly organized on the study space wherever the child is there, so that there is a minimum distraction when the child is doing his work or has dedicated his time in completing the task related to the academics. We have to definitely develop a study schedule. This is something that is very, very difficult for the parents, but if you develop a habit, which if you develop right from early childhood stage, the schedule developing, sticking to the schedule that is there, keeping time for the studies on everyday basis, and then consistently when they move forward in their higher classes, by the time they reach the board exam, a proper study schedule must be prepared, and child should be able to follow the study schedule on his own, and there must be consistency in following the study schedule, which later establishes a discipline among the child to complete task within the time limit, that is time